Hi you guys, what's up? I haven't had my coffee. I should probably do that now, right? I had to go to the China Mart first. Anyway, whatever. So I want to show you what I did. So you all know that frugality, out of the art of knowing how to spend money wisely, well, and without breaking bank. It's actually a gift from God. It is virtuous. Thank you. In Proverbs 31, that Proverbs 31 lady, the scriptures speak of her as one who considers a field and buys it. She is a woman that negotiates with merchants, etc. So to be frugal is to be virtuous, is to be godly, to not break the bank of your husband if he's the one taking care of all of your needs is a healthy thing. So this thing of, deliberately or intentionally as women, seeking out men with pockets that never run dry so you can basically drain them until they are powder blue in the face. I'm like, it's ungodly. Just putting that out there. I'm not saying be cheap, but know how to spread a little to go a long way, because there's lots of suffering in this world and there is no need for us to basically waste all the resources that are already being wasted and not going to where they need to go. If anybody knows me, I'm not an El Cheapo. If anything, back in the day, I used to unnecessarily spend things that really could have been more lightheartedly priced, yet they were, on the expensive end, just for the fun of it, just for the fact that they've got a high price tag on them. But suffering has made me take stock. Suffering has given me a price sensitivity, and being price sensitive, I now am more about ingredients. I'm more about reading ingredients rather than just purchasing something because the price must therefore mean it's high quality. Yeah, I used to properly equate expensive with quality, but now I've been educated, instructed, and trained on reading labels to measure quality as opposed to just the price tag, and it'll go such a long way. Thanks to reading labels as a measure of quality, I have procured in the previous parts to this series, you have seen that in the other days that have come and gone, a hair product that has buxomed the growth of my hair. It has really done excellently for me. This hair still has nothing in it but aqueous cream. It's hella dry now. I've been sleeping with a cotton scarf, so I don't have satin scarves or anything of that nature. I do actually silk and satin in the house, but all along I've been using cotton. So despite those bad hair practices, they're definitely not best practice. I still nonetheless have retained such gorgeous beautiful hair because it's naturally doing this on its own, and that is because of sound practices employed in terms of pricing techniques. There are none. Your way of gauging quality is basically quality as opposed to quantity of price. My shopping strategy is similar now to who it is that I am as a human being, what I've been reduced to. People have taken away my ability to earn a living, an income, something that I keep on going to God on some. Okay, it's been enough time now. Can I please go back to making money? But it's not happening. If anything, I keep getting sponsored, and every so often by somebody, people, that, like I said, not healthy for me. Nonetheless, irrespective of where the money comes from, when it does come, it goes a long way because of the frugality that I've been trained, the virtue. And personally, I'm exactly like the products that I bought. They work, but they're cheap. And it took my suffering to find them out. So basically, they've been refined by poverty, by suffering, by want, by fortitude, and they're severely underestimated. But they're top notch, and you know that they're top notch because who achieves this at 38, other than someone that knows how to shop for products? There are women that would adore to basically achieve what I've achieved with my skin all across the spectrum, whatever their age group. Yet I've done it on 0 to literally under a certain amount worth of a budget because the Lord has trained me on quality, and there's no going back from here. I'm never going to go back to just expensively purchasing just because dura. Well, long story short, what fortitude He has built in me thanks to sorrow, that's never changing even if I were to make money again. There's no taking back what has been done in me through suffering. It's been for my benefit. It would be great if it stopped though, because I'm exhausted from suffering and I'm tired of suffering emotionally. Like, I'm tired of, hey guys, like just ping pong match with a force I'd much rather not have in my life. I'm tired of being dragged emotionally. Like, there's nothing worse than being needy and getting the help, absolutely imperative help that you need from a source you would much rather not get the help from because it has just such a bad effect on you. But nonetheless, those are the side effects, I guess we should call it, of suffering, and also of just taking in your stride the plan of God. Whatever He's doing, you just have to trust it. because I have asked him to give me a salary. This door must just stop, like some way to make money on my own, because I'm tired of getting hurt, you know, by the source of help that I do get. I'm exhausted. I'm really very exhausted. No matter how firm and sturdy I might be putting my foot down, it doesn't mean that I don't get hurt anyway, with the attempts, the numerous ones at that, to reinvest in one's life again. But anyway, whatever guys, like I need to stop talking in code. It's irrelevant. Whatever under heaven it is that I've prospered, that I've achieved, that I've managed to do with my skincare is exactly what God has achieved to do with my life, with persecution. He has refined me and made me somebody very gorgeous, outwardly and inwardly, on literally zero budget, on $0, on nothing, almost nothing, you know, tending towards zero is the cost of this maintenance, this level of maintenance. Remember the other day I told you guys that my drinks, the shakes that I take, have just buxomed certain parts of my body? Well, this top shows even more of that. It's things like those. Like I said, women go to very expensive doctors to achieve, but for me it's just happened naturally through being taken care of by a God who gave me understanding as to how the world should work instead of how the world is actually working. Okay, so I want to show you the version of Karabo in product form, cheap but effective, and achieves this on the face, achieves this level of youthfulness at 38, achieves at 38, achieves, yeah, what I hear my point. So let's get straight into it. You're going to be shocked. I already gave you the directions in my previous part to the place where I got this stuff, so go there. Ladies, I encourage you, maybe even men, but you know, mostly ladies. My ministry is for women after all. Let me show you. I want to hide this one last because it's gonna like, that's the like by far the most shocking purchase that is gonna make all of y'all be like, Karabo, get out. And I'm gonna be like, no, but where am I gonna go when you tell me to get out? This is evidence of the fact that I bought this, not good this game, Mara Chinatown, no branding, nothing, China Mall. A health and beauty warehouse, evidence of the fact that Kiko China Mall, this is not Discam, health and beauty warehouse. There we have it. Total price of everything that I purchased, $525. Whatever, if you can't see, I promise you it's 525, alright? I'm not lying. Total cost of everything in this package is 525 bucks in totality. I ended up going back to buy something extra that cost 75 rands because I had forgotten it, and it's something that I had purchased the last time and I feel like it's working really well for me, so we went back. Mind you, my face right now, the face that is gawking at you, shiny and beaming as it is, I haven't washed it today. I tend to shower in the evenings and I therefore only take care of my skin in the evenings once a day. And I also haven't been working out, so I haven't gotten any aiding from exercise to make this out of my face. I've been sedentary. I told you my story. So all this popping and all this glowing is no moisturizer. My face basically got kind of dried out by my sheets. In all fairness, however, I started sleeping starting last night on a silk scarf because, you know, I don't want moisture to be drained out of my face because, you know, I'm taking advice from online, and the silk scarf is not one that I bought. It is my mom's scarf, so I slept on it and I'm experimenting, but my face would probably still be looking like this. It's only one day worth of using a silk scarf, so it's not like the results are going to be immediate or whatever. But other days I've been sleeping on regular sheets. Y'all know how they do cotton, you know how they be doing dry the face out. You be looking like you know, an ashy ghost in the morning. Despite that, this is what my skin produces. We are also in the middle of autumn in South Africa. Not middle, beginning of autumn. It is April. The beginning of autumn is March. So we're headed into winter, meaning that it's kind of dry outside, and this is what I look like in all that dryness, y'all. And what do I attribute this to? Everything, my skincare routine, which I'm about to like show you what in the world is going on there. Okay, I did let you guys know that it is a combination of what I consume. So in the first parts of this series, you saw my food or my consumption internally, my drinks, my shakes. Now I'm showing you the topical, you know, applications that I use to bring this on my face for this to be me. Okay, let me read you the things that I purchased on this very slip. No, I don't want to read them because I want to surprise you. Okay, so let me not read them. What am I going to show you first? This is a brush that I tried to get at Clicks. Not Clicks. I go to Discount because I literally don't know where the Clickses are anymore. But better would have also been at Clicks. And it was literally 325 bucks. I was like, what are you doing? Who in the world buys a brush? I think they call it a Den Man or whatever. Who in the world buys a brush for 325 rand? If you're South African, you would know that's like R1,000,000, okay? For a hairbrush. If you're American, you might not understand what in the world 325 rands means, even if you convert it into dollars, because it's not all things equal. Conversion rate does not necessarily mean standard of living application, like, you know, the converting the rand rate into dollars does not necessarily equate to the same standard of living in the US. You know, the standard of living there might be higher than ours, so I don't know how to explain 325 bucks to you in dollar terms, but it's like buying a hairbrush for, goodness, I don't know how the dollar works, guys. I really don't know. For like maybe $50. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. So I was like, okay, I desperately want a brush to brush my wigs, but I don't comb my hair, you guys, because I just like learned somewhere online that your afro is precious, so don't touch it with combs. But I've seen a lot of really highly influential and well put together, and their hair is doing really well, hair influencers that do use hair brushes, and their hair comes out looking really great, and you know, not so matted, and there's just something about brushing hair that makes it look great. So I was like, okay, let me try and buy those white tooth combs that they're talking about, and let me try those Den Man brushes or whatever for when my hair is wet and I try to detangle it in the shower or whatever. Let me try to see if it's gonna improve my life in any way. So I wanted a brush, and for crying out loud, like the Clicks or the Discam one, and it wasn't even all that pretty, was 325 bucks. The cheaper ones, which were thin, like they were skinny, like a smaller version of this, were like 150 rands. I was like, I'm not buying in something to comb hair with for that much. Like, forget it. It's not a hair cream. It's not even a skin cream. What are you doing? Like, no. What do you think it is? Hyaluronic acid's job. So I was unprepared, and I got this for 40 bucks. And let me unravel it. There's the price tag at the back, 40. I got this for 40 rands at this store. So, I mean, this is already the first the first purchase that ought make you ladies be like, what the heck? I'm flying there. Never mind driving there, okay? Like, you will fly. You will drink that Red Bull and you will fly to the store and buy these things. Like, if you're in Johannesburg, in my neighborhood, you know exactly where to go, but I bet there are other ones that you can find. Just look for a Chinatown and like, pace yourself. Don't be in a rush, even though it's not comfortable to be in those environments. I told you guys the other day I don't like being there because it just has this Chinatown smell and I don't like it. But if you're patient and you just literally go from store to store, you might find gems. Like, I almost left yesterday because wigs. When I was looking for wigs, I asked one of the staffers there that worked, where's the wig shop? And she's like, there's no wig shop here. I was like, what? But something told me, Karabo, keep looking. And I kept looking and I found it. So that's how much of a maze it is to, you know, navigate these Chinatowns. They don't have direction, they don't have posters, like signage, nothing, and it's like a whole maze, and you just keep going and going. And like I said, it smells all stuffy, Chinatownery. It's not comfortable to be in. But if you just set apart like an entire day and like tell yourself that you're going to navigate this maze and use certain stores as land posts to find your way back, you will ultimately find what you're looking for. So I went through the maze, and ultimately I found a store that sold wigs, despite somebody who works there works in the center, not knowing that there is a wig shop. Alright, like, who do you know that works at Clearwater Mall that does not know if you go into the store, perhaps they work at Woolies, and then you're like, where can I find the Clicks? And they're like, there's no Clicks in the mall. When was the last time you ever heard that? Usually when you work in a mall, you know exactly where, if you've been there long enough, you know that there's a Clicks, there's a Discam, there is an Aldo shoe store, there's an Edgar's. And yet at this Chinatown, the one chick that I asked, I asked a guy and a girl that work at different stores, and both of them were like, no sisters, there's no wig store here. And yet I found one. So that's just a discomfort about shopping at Chinatown. It's too much of a mess, to a point where even staff members, they don't know the whole place. So you gotta be patient if you don't know the one. If you're not gonna be going to the one in my neighborhood, if you're not in Roodepoort, if you live in the East Rand, or maybe even are in Cape Town or whatever, wherever it is that there is a Chinatown, just like I said, set apart a day and navigate it. Maybe even become a map writer Like, go there and do your own map, grab your own little piece of paper and be like, okay, in this aisle there's this store, so that you, when you find yourself there again, you know that you've, like, you know, done a 180 and you're in the wrong place type setup thing. And then you will find exactly what you want, and you will inevitably, like beauty cosmetic stores, there will be some that will sell actual products that you find, like L'Oreal, Eucerin, you get my point, Revlon. You will find stores that sell well-known brands, but most of them, however, sell these, like, you know, no-name brands. Nobody knows who they are. So to experiment with them is basically to take a chance with your own skin, and you could come out on the other side gadi chubaba, or if you're karabo, you could end up, you know, having just hit the nail on the button type establishment thing. So it's up to you. Hit the nail in the coffin, that's what I meant to say, or hit the button. It's up to you what you want to do. What made me experiment anyway with those products, despite them being a kind of a no-name, is because I know how well researched, or rather, let me say, how much K-pop has grown. And I know Korea is not the same as China, but Korean products started out no name, and now everybody's doing the Korean 10-step process. So everything starts somewhere. Underestimation is the worst thing that you can do when it comes to new products on the market, because they tend to come cheap, and they are the real deal if you know how to read ingredients, if you know how to read labels. They're the real deal insofar as you can teach yourself how to read labels, okay? But they're not yet as expensive as they could be, because nobody knows them, and that's, you know, for you to go in for the kill and bulk buy that gangsta, you know what I mean? Anyway, so I found the brush that I was looking for. It will work on, sorry, that fell on the ground, I'll get it later. It works on wigs, and I guess it will also work on my detangling when I am showering, when I'm washing my hair, when it's all wet and whatnot. I'm gonna be using this to try and detangle and see what in the world happens. I did not have to spend 325 bucks. I just spent 40 bucks, and it's pretty good, and it's also cute, okay? So that's the first monstrosity. 18 minutes that I've been talking. Ish, garabo. You know, at the product haul, let's just move on to the next part, because I spoke too much, and then we'll just continue from there.